Coming up on this episode of SEVA TV, we adopt a pet, bear-proof our food, and visit the Folsom Zoo Sanctuary. Stay tuned for all this and more on SEVA TV. Hi, and welcome to SEVA TV. My name is Kelly Capps. We have an exciting show for you today that will teach you everything you need to know about animals. Let's start the show off with this PSA about pet adoption from Andrew Carnegie Middle School.
My name is Payton Clark, and I attend Andrew Carnegie Middle School, and the title of my video is If You're Going to Get Them, Don't Forget Them. My video is about animal abuse and not giving up your animals for silly reasons, and that there's no such thing as a bad dog. I made my video using my iPhone, and I went to the Bradshaw shelter and I filmed all the dogs. My favorite part was probably editing and making it all come to life. I've learned that dogs don't deserve to be struggling in the shelter due to the actions that their owners took. I want viewers to learn that giving up your dog isn't something that you should do if it's not for a valid reason.
You might have been taught not to judge a book by its cover. Well, the same applies to dogs. The students from Heron School have prepared this short film to illustrate this for us. Watch this next video and you be the judge.
No! Those dogs are bad.
The next day.
Can I pet the dog? Can I pet the dog?
Sure.
Can I pet your dog? He's a good boy.
Oh, what type of breed is he?
He's a husky pit bull. He's super cute. Thank you.
No, we still can't touch him. He's still bad.
How do you know that? Have you even met this dog? He's so friendly.
Please.
Why not? Let's go. Girls, go play with the dog.
Okay. Frankie.
Hey, dog lady. I'm sorry for judging Frankie on how he looks. He's a really nice dog.
I know, he gets that a lot. People are just have something with pit bulls. It's crazy.
Perhaps you've seen people with service dogs while crossing a street or shopping for groceries. But did you know that these animals are trained to assist people with a variety of tasks, which include retrieving objects and alerting their handlers? For more information, let's hear from Canine Companion Trainer Marie Allred.
In my video, I interview Marie Allred because she's a puppy raiser for Canine Companions for Independence. I want viewers to learn that Canine Companions is a great organization that has helped many people with disabilities by providing them a service dog.
Hi, my name is Marie Allred, and I am currently a puppy raiser for Canine Companions for Independence, and this is Roberto. Canine Companions for Independence is an organization that matches dogs, skilled service dogs, with individuals who might need companions to provide services for them. Oh, Roberto knows so much. One of the first things we started with was before he eats, he only gets to eat on the OK command. He knows how to walk on a loose leash. He knows how to sit, shake, down, speak, side, heel. I'm just in charge of a lot of the basic commands, and then after he gets turned in, he'll go to advanced training and learn a lot more commands. So the process to receive a puppy starts with an application. After that application, you do a phone interview. After the phone interview, they do a home study, and then after the home study, you get called and notified whether or not you've been accepted, and they'll match up you with a puppy, and then you schedule a time to go actually down to Santa Rosa and pick up your puppy. So Santa Rosa is Canine Companions for Independence's headquarters, and so in the end of June, I went down to Canine Companions for Independence and picked him up from the facility. I've thought about raising another dog a little bit here and there, but and who knows if that'll happen or not. I really just try and focus on my time with Roberto. We have a little over a year left, so there's plenty for me to work on and do with him for now. So we'll see when that time gets there. I absolutely think that Canine Companions give people with disability opportunity to do things that they wouldn't normally do, helps them with quality of life, helps them to be able to go places that they might not normally go, helps them to challenge themselves, because with a dog at your side, to be able to combat some of those challenges you might face, you feel more empowered, definitely.
Animals have feelings and emotions just like people do, but unfortunately, some pets get taken advantage of by their owners. The lucky ones survive and are rescued by animal shelters, but not all of them are so fortunate. This next documentary discusses the effects of animal cruelty.
So in my video, it's kind of like awareness of animal abuse, of all the animals that get abused, but it's mostly focusing around dogs and cats. The best you can do is at least go to the shelter and at least say hi to them, because it's a terrible thing that we do, and I don't even understand why we do it.
Well, unfortunately, pit bulls are overbred. They're also coveted by some, folks that maybe not always have their best interest at heart, whether they want them to fight or whether they want them to guard drug houses or whatever unfortunate circumstances they may use them for. We've had dogs that have come in. I have an American Bulldog we rescued that was a puppy that was lashed around the neck with a coat hanger and left to die at a tree. I don't know what his origin was before that, why the people had him like that as a puppy, but he's got ligature marks that are permanently scarred in his neck from his sad beginning, and he's not an exception to the rule. We see a lot of abuse like that with these dogs, and it's really sad. I would say don't be afraid to get involved. To turn a blind eye when you have abuse in your backyard or in your neighbor's yard and you do nothing and you say nothing, that makes you complicit in the crime. We have to educate people on animals deserve a lot better than we give them. If you are going to have an animal in your possession, remember that's a sentient being that has feeling and value. It's not an object, it's not a toy. They feel pain. They need to be cared for. And if you're not willing to accept that responsibility, then it's better that you don't have one.
Camping in the wild can be a great and exciting way to experience wildlife in a whole new way. However, there are a few things you should keep in mind if you want to be safe. Check out this documentary from Oak Hill Elementary for some tips on how to protect yourself from bears.
I wonder where we should put our food to keep it safe from bears.
I don't know. What do you think, Josh?
I think we should go to the Folsom Zoo.
That sounds like a good idea. Let's go and figure it out.
Yeah, let's go.
Hello! You're at the Folsom City Zoo Sanctuary. My name is Amy. I'm the bear keeper here. And today we're going to give Henry what is this called? This is the Bear Vault, and this is actually a food canister to keep your food safe when you go camping. We're going to put some of Henry's favorite things in here. Hot dogs, super smelly. He likes cheese. He likes a lot of things, but we're just going to put a couple of things in. We want something that he can actually smell so that he goes for it, okay? So now we're going to put the lid on. We want to make sure that it clicks. Put it on. Tighten it down. And now it's on, okay?
Will a bear attack you if you have food?
What happens is when sometimes people actually put food out so that bears come into their campground because they want to see them, but that's really, really dangerous because once a bear is done eating all of your food, and he will eat all of your food, he's going to want more, and that's when he will get aggressive. A bear that is not afraid of people can be a very aggressive bear.
What types of things should you use to keep your food safe in?
Well, when you go camping, some places already have lockers for you at your campsite. Might be something that looks like that can over there, but they're on the ground. You should always, always use those things. Don't put food in your car. Don't put it in your tent. Put it in the cabinets that are available to you that have locks on them that the bears can't use. Your trash, that's a bear-proof trash can. You should put all of your waste in there. If the campsite does not have those things, you can purchase your own things like what we have Henry using today. And that's where you can just take it in, put your food in there, and the bear might take it away, but he can't get into it.
Well, if a bear's eating your food and you see it, like scare the bear away or try and get your food, or can you not do that?
Well, pretty much your food is a goner. Once the bear gets it, your bear has it. But it is a good idea to try to scare bears away. And the way to do that would be to throw objects and try to look really big and say, get out of here, bear, go on, bear, and just throw rocks and throw whatever you can at him. Tell him to get away from it. If the bear doesn't leave, you'll definitely want to leave the area, but don't turn your back on them and don't run. Just want to back out until you can get out safely.
Speaking of that, if you see a bear, you shouldn't run away?
No, you shouldn't ever run away, because you know how fast a bear can run? About 35 miles per hour. And if they wanted to chase you, they could catch you. So you don't want to do that. You always just want to kind of stand up for yourself, look big, try to scare them away. If that doesn't work, just back off slowly the whole time. Say, get out of here, bear, go on. Back off until you can get to a safe spot. Usually they'll go away though. Black bears really aren't very aggressive. They really don't want anything to do with you. So that's not usually a problem.
Wow. I'm glad our food didn't end up like that.
Yeah.
What was that?
Animals come in many shapes and sizes. Some can fly, some can swim, and some walk on land. The students at Herman Leimbach Elementary have some interesting animal facts for us coming up next. Up next, we have a PSA from the students over at Heron School who would like you to know that if you see an animal in need, help an animal in need. If you're interested in adopting a new pet, then you should head over to the Bradshaw Animal Shelter and meet all the wonderful dogs, cats, and bunnies that they have available. Check out this PSA from Inderkum High School to meet a few of the best animals. The next time you want to bring home a new pet, why not consider adopting one instead of buying? When you adopt a pet from a shelter, you are saving a life and making a future best friend. The students at Cordova High School made this PSA to tell you to adopt, don't shop.
And when you adopt, you are saving a life.
Do you love your dog? Well, Sydney sure loves her dog. She makes sure to go out of her way to check the weather and protect her from the hot summer sun. Check out her PSA for some tips on how to keep your pup cool and comfortable this summer.
I love my dog more than anything in the world. That's why I make sure she is ready for the hot weather. I always go out of my way to keep her inside where the AC can cool her off. When I take her on walks, I make sure it is during the cooler hours of the day so we can both enjoy ourselves more. Make sure to test the ground with the back of your hand to make sure that the ground is not too hot. Most importantly, I always make sure her bowl is full of water at all times of the day. You should always take these steps to ensure your pet keeps cool in the heat.
What are you up to this summer? Maybe you're planning to take your dogs out for a walk now that school's out? Well, check out this PSA for a few things to keep in mind before you leave the house.
Summer is a great time to walk your dog, but the pavement can be too hot to walk on. To be sure your dog's feet are safe, place your hand on the sidewalk for 10 seconds. If it's too hot for you, it's too hot for your dog. If you decide to leave your dog in the backyard, remember to give them plenty of water and make sure they have access to shaded areas. Apply sunscreen to dogs with thin coats to prevent burning. Dogs with thick coats should never be shaved. If your dog needs a trim, consult your vet. If you aren't sure, brushing your dog is a safer alternative. Learn more at animalcare.saccounty.net.
Have you met Pete? Pete is a cat and he absolutely loves his white shoes. You can catch Pete the cat in your local library now or in this next PSA from Will Rogers Middle School.
I'm Nathan.
I'm Ethan.
We go to Will Rogers Middle School and this is our video, Pete the Cat. Basically our video is Pete the Cat book trailer. Basically Pete the Cat, he was walking around and he steps in a different color and the shoes turn into that color. So when we try to make the video, we try to have that same idea going. And the skills we did to make our video.
GarageBand. We watched a YouTube video on GarageBand.
We learned how to use GarageBand. Video, it can make an impact by encouraging kids to read because we want people to read more. I think that's how we want our video to impact the world. Pete the cat loved his brand new white shoes. He loved them so much that he sang this song. I love my white shoes. 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 I love my red 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 shoes. I love my blue 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 shoes. I love my white shoes. I love my white shoes.
Have you been to the Folsom Zoo Sanctuary? They have 4 zookeepers and a ton of volunteers working hard to provide for these animals year-round. Check out this documentary from Del Campo High School to find out more.
Hi, my name is Ed Kaufman. I'm a retired scientist from the Clorox Company, and now I'm a volunteer at the Folsom City Zoo Sanctuary. It's been open since 1963. It was started because there was a gentleman here named Gordon Brong who worked for the city, and he was known for rescuing animals, and he was officially asked to rescue a mountain lion, I believe it was. And the city finally jumped in and helped start the zoo. They do it with 4 animal keepers and a lot of volunteers. The tigers require regular meat, and it costs about $9,000 a year to feed one of the tigers, and we have 2. Funding comes from ticket sales or entry sales, tours that we do mostly for school children. The city helps fund some of it, and then there's an organization called the Friends of the Folsom Zoo, which is a registered charity that helps fund the zoo. They are cared for by the keepers and volunteers. They make specific diets just tailored for the animals, and the keepers just have special ways of making them think. So when they put the food out, they just don't put it in a bowl like for the bears. They put it all around the grounds there and make them hunt for it. And sometimes they put it in a box that requires them to tear it open. There's vet services. Sometimes the vets come out here to see the animals. Other times we take them into the vet. Outreach, well, we do a couple of things. One of them is when there are special events around Folsom, we have a table and sometimes take the animals out to be seen and serve as ambassadors. We also have a program where one of the docents can be contacted, and we'll take some animals out to a school and let the kids learn about them and about the zoo. Our biggest thing right now is we are in the finishing stages of building a new barn. We call it the Barnyard Experience. We had 2 tigers, and they came from a place in Southern California that was supposed to be a sanctuary, but they were illegally breeding animals. And when we found Pouncer was on a 3-foot chain, and Misty was in a 3x4 container, I guess you would call it, and they were not in good shape. But they came here a long time ago and still here and still as happy as we can make them. One of our big things that the zoo does is try to teach responsible behavior toward all animals. And that includes wild animals that are injured. You need to be really looking for them to get the care, not trying to make them into a pet.
Well, that's all the time we have for today's episode of SEVA TV. If you'd like to see more student videos or want to find out how you can enter into the SEVAs, check out our website at secctv.org. I'm Kelly Capps. Thanks for watching.